What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, and welcome to Lactic Acid. I only have a few more times to say that. I'm your host, Dominique Smith, and today, listen, Kanye West it was Kanye, not Ye, but Kanye had a quote that describes today's guest. Bow in the presence of greatness, because right now thou hast forsaken us. And that is today's guest. She is a baller, shot caller, living legend, Larry the Lobster living legend. Still the queen when it comes to the javelin. Don't even get it twisted. Listen, that's what she is. All thriller, no filler. You know how we do on here. My friend, the legend that is Sister Kara Winger. Kara, welcome back to the show. Where the Cold Stone at? I told you to bring Cold Stone.
Hey Dom, I opted for two King's Hawaiian rolls right before we started recording today instead of Cold Stone. So I just needed a snack.
That
Ah,
okay, that's fair. I mean, King's Hawaiian, Cold Stone, King's
It's
Hawaiian,
it's
Cold
a
Stone.
very different vibe, but it's pre-dinner for me, so I have a roast in the oven. I'm very domestic. I'm really excited about it.
Oh, okay. I can't get off topic. What kind of roast are we talking?
It's an arm roast. It's beef. I had an athlete that came to my javelin camp at Colorado State University last year. Her dad slash coach, like she and her dad came to train last week, and he's a farmer, and I had no idea. And he brought me meat. So shout out to Clint Birch Farms, and I love it. So I'm cooking this roast. It's really fun.
Oh, well, we gonna get out of here because I'm not about to get roasted for letting the roast burn. That's not gonna happen. But listen, that's more reason to become a javelin thrower. Gosh.
It was really cool. So unexpected, this perk. Yeah, like a kickback, like a Monica Geller kickback at the restaurant. I was so excited.
Listen, if she wins states or the athlete wins some kind of, really big thing or accomplishes something, I don't know. You gotta they may have to bring you two or three chickens and you have those country eggs in the morning. And you
Yeah,
get a roast. Uh, Listen, oh man, I need to get into the javelin. You're
she's
actually
growing
the
up well.
second javelin thrower so far this season. Shout out to my man Preston Kuznov, uh, US number two, technically US number one in the javelin. So we had to get greatness on the show again. But you are no exception to the rule, so you know the format of what I'm going to ask you. You're awesome. People still look at 2022 and go, "Will I am? Oh my God!" When it comes to the great things that you did, so three people want to honor you. Food Network, um, of course, I forget the own question, but we'll start one at a time. So, Food Network wants to know your favorite appetizer or appetizers. They're going to combine them into one. They're going to put your face on it with the flag and a big old needle that resembles a javelin, and they're going to sell it everywhere. And it's going to be the winger specialty. That's what we're going to call it, or something else creative, or whatever the case might be. I'm not on their creative department. There was a show back in the day called The Wild Thornberries. And the main
Yes.
character, Eliza Thornberry, had the opportunity to talk to animals. I have a feeling about the animal you're going to choose. So you can't choose your dogs at all, but you get a chance to have dinner with the animal that you choose and everything. You get to teach them about the javelin. It could be awesome. Last but not least, music is beautiful and they want to honor you. So they're going to fly you and Russ out to Radio City Music Hall. They're going to put you in a private jet, private limo, five-star hotel, anything you can eat, anything you want. And your two favorite musical artists are going to give you the private concert of a lifetime. So, appetizers, animal, musicians.
Okay, two appetizers.
It could be one, it could be two, it could be
Like
five. I don't
combine
care.
it. Okay. Um,
You're gonna make it a sampler.
if I get to like make an appetizer, I two things that I love more than anything in this world food wise are Cajun chicken mac and cheese and a baked brie. So I need that to be all together, like a brie associated Cajun situation with a chicken. So like a spicy brie, chicken dip sort of situation would be really great with Ritz crackers or vegetables if you want to be the javelin thrower, like the lighter version of the thrower. So that is my choice because Cajun spices I love. I'm like weak when it comes to the strength of them for sure, but the brie is gonna even that out. Obviously, there's already cheese in the Cajun chicken mac and cheese, but I just love brie cheese very, very much.
We're gonna get back to that in a second because
Okay.
I have a couple questions. I'm trying to figure out how all of this is gonna work out. Um, just out of curiosity, no judgment. What
Mhm.
animal are you having dinner with?
I've always loved elephants. I listened to uh of the book. It's like the Elephant Whisperer guy at the reserve in Africa. Um, and there are many, right? But it's like this one specific story that he got all these animals that had escaped their own enclosure at other reserves like many times, and he made a huge difference in like how they adapted to their new habitat. And when I tell you I sobbed in part of that book, I was like driving my vehicle and I needed to pull over, like
What?
inconsolable, like couldn't breathe, crying so hard from this book. Like it just emotionally got me so bad, and I am not shy about that. I'm really good at like reading those types of things or watching those types of movies on planes, and luckily I was in like the privacy of my own car this time, but typically I will lose my mind from emotion like in the publicity of an airplane. Like, it's very embarrassing. So an elephant. I don't really have a preference which one. I just want to know because I assume they all know each other's secrets, right? They're so
Yeah,
smart.
they're
Yeah.
so smart and they have great memories.
Yes. And then musical artists. I am not a giant music person. I know that that is embarrassing as an athlete because it's such an important part, maybe, of our lives. But that's not necessarily true. I get to be who I am. But lately, stereotypically, Noah Khan, sure. And I have this one, I'll make it super specific to track and field. I was warming up at Hayward one time, and the like New Kids on the Block song that was like newer, the summertime song in like 2017, 2018, it wasn't their like Abercrombie song. It was like a newer release that was a surprise to everybody. And I was like, just it was the bop, and I was feeling so good in this warm up area, and I like so distinctly remember that. I don't remember which meet it was, but I did really well that day, and I will like never forget that song's role kind of in that moment of my life. Plus it's like springtime almost, and it's gonna be summer, and I like will ever or will forever listen to that song and be happy about summer
It was 2017,
ish. Yeah.
so I think the song was called Summertime.
Yes. And I'm not a
Okay.
giant New Kids on the Block fan generally, but like that song has a really special place in my heart, and more modern days. Noah Khan. Um, but I'm a Pitch Perfect girly.
I
Like
like that.
I love it. Like I will watch those movies on repeat. When I came home from Chase Lee's wedding, I had myself a little Pitch Perfect 1, 2, and 3 marathon on the way home, and it was the best thing ever.
Which one is better?
um,
Not can in my opinion, the first one's the best. I like two. Don't get it twisted. I
I
like two.
love two. I really love two. And the more times I watch number three, I love it also. Like the world tour is like it's maybe the ending. I'm like, I could deal without that. But like the whole journey of all of the sets and all of the different kind of like them believing in themselves again, like I really, really love it. And the
I love that.
songs are great. Mhm.
I love that. I actually really love that. I can see you being like the ultimate pitch perfect person.
I
Like
got
it
to
just
meet Elizabeth Banks in Rio, like at the USA House, and it was the coolest thing ever. She was like, "Oh, athletes tell me that all the time," and I was like, "Dang it, I am not special."
oh my gosh, that's sad. But you know what we should do?
But
We should see if Rebel Wilson could join us. Like we could do a collab.
that would be wild if
Because
Rebel Wilson threw a
feel
javelin.
I feel like Rebel Wilson would either tear up the shot put or she's killing somebody in the jab. And by
Yeah.
killing somebody, I don't mean she's gonna hit somebody. I mean she's gonna take home I just have this feeling.
Imagine
Like,
the yell. The yell would be amazing.
oh my gosh, we gotta get them to Hayward. We
Okay.
gotta get them to Hayward. Track down, call one of them, and let's make this happen.
That'd be so fun.
How are you going to melt the brie cheese enough to where? So here's the thing: it will not work with a Ritz cracker. So if you're gonna like dip it, unless you get like a spoon and put it on the Ritz cracker, I think
Hmm.
you need one of those townhouse crackers, those like thicker ones. Now I'm a rich brother myself, so I'm with you there. But
Hmm.
are you gonna like dip it, or are you gonna like scoop it on there?
You've never had baked brie? You're in Florida. It's not really a baked brie situation. Yeah. So you typically you wrap it in puff pastry.
Okay.
It's a for me a Thanksgiving situation. So an appetizer at Thanksgiving or Christmas, wrap it in the puff pastry, which I always fail at. I forget to unfreeze it. It's a disaster, but all I really care about is the cheese. And then either within the puff pastry or like on top, you have like cranberries and honey and like balsamic and whatever you want, like to just adorn it, right?
Yeah.
So in this case, it would be like the puff pastry and also chicken
Ooh,
and Cajun spices and maybe like more olive oil, like a savory version of this thing that would combine all of the things that I love. So the cracker point is valid for a typical brie that you are thinking of with the rind like all intact. But
yes.
when you let it sit long enough, it's like super melty and gooey and the best thing ever.
I'm gonna take your word for it. Next time I'm in Colorado, which will
Hmm.
be this winter, this
Cool.
coming winter. Uh,
Nice.
I want you. I'm gonna stop by. I'm gonna visit you in Russ, and can you like make that so I can experience that? I live in this. My family's southern, like from like Alabama. I live in Florida. Bree is just a person to me. Um,
That
like
makes sense.
we don't really do cheese. Now, if you
And
said
you wouldn't
cheddar,
bake her. Yeah, you wouldn't do
yeah,
that.
we're not trying to bake her, but
So in 2020, and I know you agree with me on this, when Ari lived at my house, we would like make all our meals together, right? And we're eating, and we had like a lot of cheese because it's cheese. And at one point, there was no cheese in our dinner, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, this meal doesn't have any cheese." And to this day, she makes fun of me for it. It's really funny. I love it.
But when you're so used to it, and
Mhm.
everybody, and for people who don't know, that's Ariana Ince, living legend.
Yeah.
Um, when you're used to something, it's like bread. Like if you're used to having bread with your meals and there's no bread, it's a problem. Like it is a
Hmm.
serious problem. So I feel that on an emotional connection with the cheese because that happened the other day. I was like, ooh, there is something missing, and this meal is not complete without
You
this.
get me, Dom. Yes. Yeah, for sure.
I love that you said elephants because I've done 2 episodes this week, and the first episode we had a 5 minute conversation on elephants. And my answer to the question that I asked you, there are elephants. I'm fascinated with elephants. I'm not going to cry over them, um, because I will never watch that documentary. I can't be on a plane just boo-hooing.
Hmm.
But the one thing I've always appreciated this about you. You are so authentically you, and that's why everybody loves you. That's why
Thank
you are
you.
literally the best. That was the first impression I got. It's like I love Kara because she is Kara freaking Winger. I will put a javelin through you if you have a problem with that. Like it
Hmm?
is pretty much, but the elephants, I will say this one almost got me. I was watching a video about how the elephants like protect the babies. Um,
Hmm.
and how if the mother elephant is like off to, defend the herd or something like that, the other elephants, I guess like the aunts or whatever, they make sure the baby's taken care of, like and everything. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that's and you see these videos of these, I hate poachers. Hunting's cool, but like there was some bad people.
Yeah.
Oh boy. They listen, if I saw that, I would I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
Because they don't mess around, those
Hmm.
elephants. So I love that you said elephants. I always say their memories kind of they remember you, they have wisdom, I've seen elephants just mess with people just for fun, so they're human, just like you and I. But I always say, if you owe the elephant some money, you better leave town and never come back because once you step foot, they're going to remember that.
Yeah.
They want that $20. Um, so I don't know. I love that you said that answer. Um, and I will never watch that documentary. Again,
Yeah. But it just would reinforce your like understanding of the elephants because it's about the relationship between the human and the elephants and the relationship between the elephants themselves. So like
so it's worth
you
it.
already know. Yeah, you already know what it's about.
Okay, send
I'm
it to
just emotional. I'm just vulnerable.
Okay, I may have some time later on this weekend. Send it to me.
Okay.
No, I turn 30 next week. That's how I'm gonna,
Wait,
spend my
when is your birthday?
April 14th.
Okay, mine is the 10th.
Shut up. Are you
No.
serious?
Yeah,
Oh, we should. Oh man, we
we
should
are
have
vibing.
waited to record this and had the birthday cake ice cream or something like
Oh,
that.
that would have been so fun. Okay, we'll just have it on the 12th, right between our birthdays. How's that
We're
sound?
gonna have no bump that. We're having it on the 9th and the 13th.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Yep.
Wonderful. Or the
Okay.
12th. That works too. The 12th. We'll do the 12th. I
Mhm.
did not know that. Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
love that. We are
Yeah.
thriving. April homies.
You're gonna
Okay.
love your 30s. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's do you really mean that?
Yeah. Um, 30. It's Rio 2016.
Listen, if your
Yeah.
last year of
Rio.
competition was anything like what 30 is gonna be, I'm so excited. I just can't hide.
Right. I was
I'm about to break
36. Like it's gonna be fine. Everything's fine. It's just a
everything's
number.
fine. I'm
Yeah.
about to break some records and I think I like it.
Mhm.
So let's do the order of operations of how it's going to go tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to get your thoughts on a couple things, pretty much what you're excited about in the throws. We're going to do some superlatives. We're going to tell you some things that we're excited for and what you should watch out for. And then Kara, instead of doing rapid fire, you're going to fire some questions at me.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Hey, what are you most excited about heading into this season with the throws? And there's so much to be excited about because there's so many great athletes competing. You look at last year, how last year ended. You look at like the American contingent for the men and women, how they came on strong at the end. You look at doggone what happened in the indoor season, of all things.
Hmm.
The men's hammer is the one. I'm sorry, the men's weight throw is the one I think about it with Daniel Haas. So there's so much to be excited about. But as a baller, as a shot caller, as somebody who's proven that 30 is just a suggestion, you're gonna thrive whatever age and whatever area you're in. What are you most looking forward to?
So it's impossible to choose one thing in the throws, right? Like we have
Yeah.
4 events, men and women, all ridiculous performances from 2023 leading us into 2024. And to just go the absolute opposite direction, I cannot believe the young talent, especially on the men's side in the throws. Like the way that Leonardo Fabri like backed up his 2023 in the indoor season
Mhm.
and at the Diamond League final last year has me so excited about him. Ethan Katzberg, and then also, so Ethan won world championships at 21, had multiple 80-meter attempts like at Worlds, and like the only person that saw that coming was his coach Dylan Armstrong, legendary Canadian shot putter. And then a thing that I was like doing research for tonight, Trey Knight is an American
Mhm.
from my hometown, Clark County, Washington, like Ridgefield,
Really?
Washington. I grew up in Vancouver. I did not know this. I was today years old when I was like, holy shit, Trey Knight is like from my place of residence. And he threw 76.36 like this year to start his season after throwing 71 in 2021. And is the same age as Ethan Katzberg. So these two like very young hammer throwers. Obviously, Trey has like a ways to go, but like that phenomenal performance at such a young age is so cool. And the person who has done that in the women's shot put is the German Yamini Ogunle. she got silver at Indoor Worlds in Glasgow, and like had thrown 20 meters for the first time earlier that season, but then did it again to make the podium at a World Championships where all of them threw 19 mid plus, right? So those ridiculous performances with like backed up performances are amazing from young throwers. And then I guess the ever present question is, how far can Ryan Krauser go? He never settles. He's always improving. He told me once, I feel like you always have to be changing your throw. So he's just like somebody who is revolutionizing his own abilities, like constantly, constantly, constantly. And now that he has literally every title that you can have, the distance is like the real thing that he
Yeah.
gets to focus on. Like it's not strategic anymore for performances at the right time. It's just like what is the absolute ultimate potential, and that's super exciting.
Have you
There's so much
watched?
more. I did not choose one. I
Have
can't.
you did a great job. I love it. Have you ever watched SpongeBob before?
Not really. No, I'm too
Dang.
old.
So you you wouldn't get this reference. Um, but Ryan Krauser reminds me of like the tough guy on SpongeBob when they were like, "What did you eat for breakfast?" He got, "I ate a bowl of nail for breakfast." They were like,
Yeah.
"So without any milk." That is Ryan Krauser because he Ryan, I know you're not listening to this, but thanks for talking with me at pre. Because he was pissed off
And
because
he's exactly, he never settles. Exactly. Yeah. Mhm.
he was pissed off. And here's the thing I love about the throws community. It is a community. Like it's not, you don't have, oh, I'm not gonna call him out just in case he, decides to call out lactic acid and I get people come for me. But it's not a lot of beef in the throws. It's not
Right.
like people are going at it and talking, crap and all that stuff. But he was 50 shades of piss when Joe Kovacs beat him in the final, and you can tell, like, that man had heartburn. That's how mad he was, and he
Mhm.
was like, "Listen, like, I'm coming. Like, I'm like, bro, Ryan, look at what you did. What you mean you coming? Like, you're here. Like,
Yeah.
you are you." And he's just like, it's just so cool to see. First of all, that throw, what was it, 23 something, should have been ratified as the indoor world record. You can debate a wall on that. Like,
Right.
that
Yeah.
made me sick. But the one thing that I'm really excited about, and we'll talk about it later, I feel like there's a great balance of veterans and young talent. We just talked about Daniel Hall and that crap he pulled. Oh my gosh, like that was just incredible. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I was just just amazed by that. But I look at like some of the young talent in the different events. You obviously look at Deanna Price, you look at Brooke Anderson, um, but think about it from this point of view. You have like in the women's shot put. You have Adelaide Aquila from the Ohio State University, who was dominant on the college scene. And listen, sometimes it just takes a minute just to get that transition. But like, in my opinion, like if she puts it together, USA can go 1, 2, 3 in the women's shot put. I know that's a hot take, but Maggie, listen, I'm not betting against Chase no more. Chase,
No,
Miss Chase,
you should not.
what does the song say? I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Like I'm sorry. Like I am sorry. Like forever. It doesn't matter because big time performers know how to show up in big time moments.
Mhm.
Her, Maggie, and that's not to disqualify anybody else. And maybe I'm going from a USA point of view. And then somebody like Adelaide, I look at, Turner Washington, another, guy who could step up and kind of help elevate the throws. So it's just this great juxtaposition of young talent and then older veterans who are kind of paving the way, but still like, hey, watch out now. And then
Mhm.
there's storylines like I'm always curious about what does the confidence, if you're Joe Kovacs, what confidence are you taking in to this next season? Like you have to take in some confidence beating Ryan Krauser. What about a guy like Tom Walsh? Like
Yeah.
Tom Walsh is go ahead, you're good.
So, well, like Joe winning the Diamond League final, he did that the year before too, right? Like
Yeah,
I felt so lucky to see his first ever 23-meter throw. And it wasn't 23.00, it was 23.23. Like it was
yes.
over the old world record. And like it was past Randy. He is officially the second best shot putter of all time, and he would be the best if it weren't for Ryan Krauser. Like Joe
Yes.
knows, and I had a conversation with him at pre last year where he was like, this whole season has been wild, like learning how to travel with family life,
Yeah.
like learning how to compete, learning how to train with the twins. And you know, Ashley is such a rock star coach and mom, but like at pre, the family was sick and Joe had to kind of stay away and then go to Prefontaine. And so like he just had this unpredicted thing happen and performed the way that he did anyway, like 2293 or whatever it was. Um, and he said to me, he was like, this has been such a cool learning experience. I cannot wait to apply it to 2024. So, like,
Ooh.
watch out, world, because he knows how to perform at the right time. He has like been the longest medal winning streak of any men's shot putter in history, including Ryan Krauser. Like,
Mhm.
Joe has medaled since 2015 in every major championship. It's nuts. Save
This
indoor worlds, but he didn't compete. Like, it's just absolutely amazing. And the way that he just like took last year to practice having twins and doing it really, really well as a dad and a shot putter is incredible. So there's no reason he won't be the greatest that he's ever been.
It's so funny. The day, I think it was the day of the final. I didn't know he would win, but I knew this one was going to be close. I went to the pancake house and I saw Joe grubbing. I just had some in my soul like he ready. It's like that man was like I just
I've seen what I need to see.
I
Yep.
saw him. Listen, nobody was sitting at the table. He had that napkin at just that angle, and I just saw all the food. I was like, this is gonna be a little different. This is
Mhm.
different. And so no, I love that, and I love the confidence that he takes. I was debating, and then we're gonna get to some superlatives. I was debating saving this for later.
Well, I have one more too. So go ahead, and I have to talk about this
Okay,
other thing that I'm excited
okay.
about. You go.
I'm excited. I'm curious if it's the same thing. I'm excited for the women's discus. Was it the same thing?
Yeah, for sure.
Logi Tusanga
La longa
versus
saga.
Lalonga Tusanga versus Val freaking Allman. I
Mhm.
knew. So I'm going to be a good host. I can tell you why I'm excited. Go ahead. Go ahead.
If you look at Val's season opener, right, 67.98, like that is like nothing really new for her. She opens big. She is like the height of Valerie Allman's floor is insane. It's amazing. Like she's so wildly consistent. It's absolutely incredible. But watching world champion La Longa Tasaga
Talk
be
to him.
exactly who she has always been on social media and just like her joy in training and her relationships with training partners and like all that stuff be exactly the same as it has always been prior to her gold medal. Like the biggest performance in arguably any throws competition there has ever been in terms of like underdog. I am so proud of her, like for just being who she is. Like I love watching her train. I love seeing that like she's sharing kind of all of the journey. Some practices are great and some are not. And that was true before she won a gold medal, and it'll be true forevermore. Like it's a roller coaster. It's the ocean, right? Like it's just a wave. Like it's gonna pass. And I cannot wait to see what she does because she's gonna be so entertaining no matter what it is.
You talk about pissed off. Val wasn't happy after that. But it's such a crazy thing. And that's why I love the heat of competition and true competitors. Val may have not been happy, and it took her some time to process. So I didn't like some of the stuff that I was seeing on social media, like, oh, she ain't humble, she ain't this. I was like, no, 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 no. Y'all don't realize it's hard when you're trying to especially when you get upset, so to speak. It's hard,
Yeah.
to process certain things. So I didn't like take it as there's no bad blood. No, it's just you got to process. Sometimes that takes a day, sometimes that takes a week.
Hmm.
But Logie, I'm tell you something. She earned that. And I think this year what excites me is that she's gonna show people I'm about it. Like that was not a fluke. This is who I am. This is what I bring to the table. I am about that.
Hmm.
Don't ask me to make no predictions because I can't because I don't know. Because Logie shows up like and just her journey. Like people don't realize she's been on my podcast. She's been on different podcasts, Out the Blocks, with Caitlin Hutchinson and Jasmine Todd. And she talked about her journey just to get to, just to qualify and
Hmm.
all that she had to overcome. So, the fact that she's taking that confidence and she's building and she's keeping going, I don't know. It's up the ladder through the roof. Like, I
Yeah.
don't it's so I'm so excited. Like, it's just insane to me. It's just
Yeah. And like I agree with you. The thing about athletes, especially on the world stage or on the Olympic stage, like you are going after your goals loudly. Like you are stating to the world, I want to be the best in the world at this. And when you fail, you do that in front of other people too. And so like it doesn't really matter who the winner of world championships was for Val, right? Like she is arguably the best discus thrower like in the world at any moment. And then on that day, Loggie's better. And that's just what happens sometimes. But like it could have been Sandra, it could have been Bing Fang, like it could have been anybody. And I think the reaction would have been exactly the same because Val wants to win.
Yeah,
Loggie wants to win. Sandra wants to win. Like they want to win. That's why we're here. And so it just it just depends on how the cookie crumbles, like what your face is telling the world after you don't reach the goal that you told the world you wanted to reach. Like
yeah,
that's what's happening. Um, and you're exactly right. Like Loggie's journey, I made a note that like the way that she's talked about how she came around to that championship mindset through the difficulty of 2023 is exactly why I know that she will overcome her Olympic trials demons from 2021.
yeah,
Like she is living like the same life. She has the same support system. Like she is doing all of those things with this extra massive boost of confidence, knowing that she pulled herself out of a dark place to have the best performance of her career. And she knows how to reproduce that. And I just like, yeah, I cannot wait to watch. The fact that she's been open about it is like so cool to watch as a fellow American woman thrower who went through really similar things to finally crawl to the top of what I thought I was capable of.
listen, she might be one of the funniest people you've ever met. Like, she is hilarious. Like, it
Yeah.
is incredible. So I said, we're gonna do like our last. Well, you're still gonna ask questions, but we're gonna do like the second to last segment now because it just all flows together.
Okay.
But because honestly, it's the same thing. A storyline I don't think we're talking about just enough. The return of Raven Saunders.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So you have that
I
to
wrote it down. Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mm. I'm not picking against Chase Ely. I'm not
No.
doing it. But let me tell you something. If there's somebody that could shake the waters in that competition, it is her. Especially if she's Ray Lewis said, I'm pissed off for greatness. And that may be her. What did you write down? What did you jot down?
I that was really the only thing. Raven Saunders comeback question mark exclamation point. And like Raven is not only so powerful, such, a personality, obviously, like she always has been ever since she like as a little baby Raven made the Olympic team in 2016. Like she was blowing up like the group chat of the entire Olympic team like constantly. Um, but she is tough. Like
Yes.
in I think it was 2022. It might have been before that. Um, just all these injuries, like all of this pain that she'd been dealing with, and she showed up anyway to USA as we had this conversation, and she's freaking tough, and it's so fun to watch somebody like that be joyful through that experience rather than angry. Like there's just kind of this edge, there's this competitive edge, but there's just like effervescence about it that isn't intimidating. It's like inviting for people that are watching, and I love that so much. I'm a fan. So we will see what happens. I can sense vengeance, right? Like she will come back with a flourish. But the other person who made the Tokyo Olympic team that is also on a return arc is Jessica Ramsey.
Yes. Praise.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. There's so many storylines. And
Yeah.
and listen, we're just gonna keep it real with you. We love all the throws, and I know we
Mhm.
go because we can't go through every single one of them. You know, sister got a roast she got to take out in a few minutes. But
Yep.
but it's like there's so many things like Cameron Rogers. Are we seeing the start of a dynasty with Cameron Rogers? Like, or can somebody? I'm not gonna say can somebody push her. I think there's a couple people that can push her, and we've named them.
Yes.
Um, but Cameron's different. Like you saw that when she was at Cal. Listen, first of all, again, I just have to say this PSA. If you are not serious about throwers winning or sincerely being a part of the Bowerman, then don't put them on the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Because a thrower, listen, y'all don't, and that's where take a deep breath. Throwers deserve respect. And if they're gonna be on the Bowerman, let them be on the Bowerman. They need to have equal representation as everybody else because what they do is hard. And let me tell you something. If you want to know the importance of the throws, let your team be down 5 points
Mm-hmm.
and see where you need to get that 6 points from and see if you're not praying that somebody from the field events comes through.
Yeah.
Let your team be down. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that was off the rails. I just had to get that
Soapbox, love it. I love it. I love it.
But
Yeah, Cameron Rogers and Turner Washington, first professional seasons.
ooh,
My eyes are just bugging out of my head. I cannot wait. I
oh
can't
my
wait.
gosh, I love the
That-
frames.
That's
Love
my
the de-
category. Yeah. First pro season, what's gonna happen? Turner just got engaged, so like he's just living his
yes.
best life. Yeah. And Cameron is just the most like team oriented. Did you see the reel of her and Anna Purchase, like her British
I
teammate
did.
that trains at Cal?
I did.
I was
That was
sobbing once
crazy.
again. It was like I was listening to an elephant book. Like
It
it's
was
just so
amazing.
precious. Yes.
It
Yeah.
is
Talk
like
about lifting up people around you. Like Cameron is that person. And I love like she made the Tokyo final as again little baby Cameron Rogers in 2021. And so for her to be world champion and going, probably back to the Olympic Games, she's gonna crush it. Crush it.
so.
Crush it.
Want to talk about one more throwing event prior to us switching gears and then wrapping this up. What do you think is going to go down in the javelin? Can brother Curtis Thompson take the reins to not right now? World Athletics he was ranked 11th
Okay.
and everything, building confidence and everything. But can he take that jump from like 11th to 5th or something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then just in the global scene, like Chopra and some of these names, forgive me, for just messing them up. Julian Weber,
Hmm.
Germany, like there's so many like actually talented people.
Hmm.
Um, like I don't know. Like it's just gonna be a crazy competition this year. And then for the women, I really don't know.
Right.
I
Nobody
I
does.
nobody does. I will say this with the women. The person who actually really impressed me was Maggie Malone Harden because I love the way she finished at pre. And I think, even if it wasn't first, it builds confidence because there are some heavy hitters in the women javelin. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Right.
Um, and everything. But go ahead. I see you chomping at the bit to get the expert opinion.
Okay, so men first, so I can talk longer about the women. Um, did you know that Max Denning, who is 20 years old, threw 90-20 in February? He's a German, yet another 90-meter German.
That's crazy. That's not fair.
Unbelievable. Dom, it was an 11-meter PR.
How did I
And
miss this?
because it was February, like that's how you missed it. So he is so young. He actually trains in Leverkusen. Like I can see it from the videos, which is really fun because that's like where I first spent my first couple of summers in Europe. And it's just like really cool to see the equipment and stuff like that I recognize for me personally. But the thing also is that he's had other attempts at like 86, 85, 84. Like he had an 11-meter jump, but he has also like raised his floor. And that is super, super, super cool. So This is a classic. Like there were multiple, I think there were 5 German women that could have been on the Rio Olympic team, and they can only take 3.
Mm,
Now, like if Johannes Vetter and Andreas Hoffmann come back healthy, if Thomas Roller is still at it, Julian Weber like has been 4th multiple times at global championships in the past 5 years, and now there's Max Denning. Like who the heck is on the German men's Olympic javelin team?
we don't know. Like we
I'm so
don't know.
excited. I am so excited. And if
Oh,
that young kid, just like other people in like the throws community that are crushing it as young athletes, can reproduce that performance, like he's in the medals. He's in the medals. It's crazy.
that is crazy. 90 in
I
February.
Yes, and I'm so excited about Arshad Nadeem for like sort of similar reasons. Like he's on the young side. He and Neeraj Chopra have thrown against each other forever. So Arshad Nadeem is from Pakistan. He got silver in
Yeah.
Budapest, and he's a 90-meter thrower from 2022 when he won Commonwealth Games. He did not compete until World Championships last year.
Yeah.
Like he had an injury and he like didn't throw until Budapest, and then he qualified and then he got silver. Like it's so cool.
Crazy.
And he just so much potential. And then there's just like other young, it's exactly I think in the javelin most of all, there's like less of the veterans and more of the young athletes because
Right.
Neeraj Chopra is also only 25, 26 years old. And that guy, I am not alone. I know there are just millions and millions of huge Neeraj Chopra fans, literally. But I'm one of them. Like he's such a cool nerd for the javelin. Like he loves it so much, and he will talk to fellow competitors, like coaches, like about technique, mindset. Like he just wants to know everything there is to know about the javelin, and he's so fun to be around because he's super supportive of everybody's ideas too. Like he's such a gem, and he's so consistent and good and like fun to watch throw because of his rap and like just the way that he understands his throw, that I'm so excited to watch him in 2024 because now he's Olympic and world champion coming into the season. Like the confidence is kind of through the roof, and I can't wait for him to finally break the 90-meter barrier.
Go ahead, talk about them women.
Women's javelin, it's absolutely wide open, in my opinion. I know Haruka was like on fire, but she's still also like only 24, 23, 24. Like there's no reason that other people that have been around for just as long, if not longer, can't step up to the plate, like the standard that she very much set. And Maggie not only threw 60 meters at pre, but she threw 64.04. Like she's the only American with the Olympic standard
Yeah.
in Poland, like at the very end of the season. So that's a really good position to be in. Um, and then like Haruka just needs to be protected at all
All
costs.
costs, all costs.
I I love her. She is like the best thing ever. And as a competitor, like she looks super happy all the time, but you can see if you know what it's like to be out there that she is super nervous. Like it's so fun to watch her like surprise herself with performance because she just cares so much about it. And like watching her win Budapest, like Russ and I ran down from the upstairs seats to David, to her coach, because like their relationship is so fun to watch. And that's something that I'm really excited about too. Haruka trains in the Czech Republic with David, with like his training group. And he just posted today on Instagram like that one of the other girls threw 62 meters. So like the Haruka effect is like local too, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
just super excited to watch his other athletes do really well now that they've like had a couple years to be around this person who's made such a big impression on the javelin world at such a young age. So the other 2 that I'm super fans of, Flora Hurtado, the Colombian that got silver in Budapest, I like watched her be super tough, and she's a little bit older, like she's mid-30s. Like I'm really proud of that, like I want there to be older athletes out there.
Yeah.
And I've watched her be really tough in other competitions in the past, like have injuries and fight through them. And then she made the Tokyo final. Like she's not a stranger to Olympic finals, so she could be just as good, if not better, as she was in Budapest. And then last but very much not least, just as a smattering of javelin information, Catherine Mitchell has had my heart for so many years. She's 4 years older than me. She has consistently shown me what age can look like in a fantastic javelin thrower. She's the 35 to 39 Masters world record holder. I threw
Yes.
68.11. She threw 68.96 when she was 36. And like 4 years before that, she knocked me out of the final in Rio. Like, and I knew that she would if I didn't perform in the third round. Like, I knew the season that she was having, and I've just always watched her be phenomenal and defy everybody's expectations. And she did that in Budapest, and then she got hurt in warmups before the final. So the chip on her shoulder, like I cannot wait to see what it turns into, because she's just one of my favorite people to hang out with on the circuit and such an inspiration to me always.
Love that. Are you ready for some fun superlatives?
Yes.
Now, this is not your yearbook superlatives, most likely to be on ESPN, most likely to be president. We're not doing those. We're gonna do just a few. And then we're gonna wrap this bad boy up with a bow. So, come most likely to be the comeback athlete of the year.
This is a hot take, but Joe Kovacs. Because he hasn't been gone. I just think what I said about him practicing with the twins is like the whole thing. Potentially Raven Saunders.
That's what I was gonna say.
And uh last but very much not least, Annette Echekunwoke.
Okay, I like that.
Because again, she hasn't been gone, but she didn't make the team last year. Gonna crush it.
Most likely to have a oh my god performance.
Daniel Stahl again.
Out. Oh, that is tough. Because yes, it's him. It is him, but I feel like it's Ryan Krauser too.
Yeah.
But Daniel
Ooh,
Stahl. Go ahead, go ahead.
Janae Casada.
I was gonna ask another question, and she was my answer for the
Uh-huh.
question. 'Cause the next one was who should you not put at the back of your mind? What athlete? And she was the one. Listen, she has experience. She's legit. She's a baller. She's a medalist. Don't mess with her.
And that's why I'm putting her in the most likely to have an oh my god performance, because like she has been building and building and building ever since not making the team in 2021. And her PB is still 78 meters. Like it's great, but she is ready for so much more than that after like collecting medals, being consistent. This season, her training facilities got all busted, and so
Yes, which
she's
is
like
crazy.
had to find other places to go, and she's doing it and crushing it and making no excuses. And I like it's gonna be amazing. I just can't wait. So
I can't wait for this question. I did think about this. Most likely to make Kara Winger cry.
oh, Catherine Mitchell. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What perform?
Oh, Rudy Winkler. Also, yeah.
Oh, Rudy. Yeah. Okay. I can see that one. I can see that one. Okay.
If he figures out the global championship final, like I will cry for
Rudy.
Rudy. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. All right. That kind of was leading to my next question. Most likely to figure it out on the big stage. That was actually the next question.
Hmm. Hmm. Julian Weber.
Oh, I
Oh.
love that. I love that. I love that. I love how you said all right after you said it.
Also Peyton Otterdahl.
Okay. I can dig it. And if anybody is hearing noise in the background, there is a thunderstorm that is moving through after some wicked weather apparently moved through Florida today. Um, so I love those picks. I only got a couple more for you. What? Ooh, this is kind of a tough one because I think it's
I have
between.
another one. I'm sorry. On the big
Go ahead. Go
stage.
ahead. Yeah.
Maggie Ewan. Maggie
Love
Ewan.
that. If
Yep.
she figures it out, because she's been consistent throughout the year, if she figures it out, still not betting against Chase. I ain't betting against Chase. No, 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 no.
No.
But If there was somebody, just saying if, trying to tell you, it is Maggie. I love that. What is the performance coming up that you would pay top dollar for?
Chase Jackson, 21 meters.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm,
How about Valerie Allman versus Logie Tasanga versus the
oh,
field? The women's discus final. Let's just say the women's discus final.
yeah. So I'm going to Throwtown Ramona next weekend to
Okay.
officiate. And
Okay.
if there is like that men's discus field is completely nuts. If the women get in there, like, are we talking world record? I'm not gonna predict it.
This
Like,
early in
ah,
April?
I don't like people are fresh.
That's
They are
fair.
fresh. And Mikolas Alekna like threw 71 meters in early April last year. So he's on the start list. What could happen? And if he threw 73 meters, he still wouldn't have thrown as far as his dad, which is crazy. It's so
Okay.
cool.
That is
Yeah.
insane.
Hmm. I
Okay.
would pay to see Neeraj Chopra throw 90 meters.
Okay.
I would love that. Um, If Johannes Vetter is healthy and he can't throw
Oh,
100 meters, I would pay all the money to see that too.
me too.
And an Olympic sweep of the men's shot put would be super cool. Olympic American sweep. Repeat 2022 with whoever is on the team.
I yeah. I think it's possible you get a men's and a women's sweep.
Yeah. But yeah, Val versus Logie. Logie backing up her 69 meters at Prefontaine with 67 plus was the coolest thing ever. And I don't know. I can't. They're on such different paths, but they're the same path. And so I have a hard time still in my mind comparing them because I know how expectation feels.
Yeah.
And I don't I know that Logie can handle that, but I have such a hard time speculating about it. So the other ones are my choice. Valor
All
versus
right.
Logie could be your choice. Yeah.
Okay, put it on me. I got you. I got you. Last one. Last one. Who do you want to DJ the after party? Throw us after party. Who's the DJ?
Oh, see, this is me and my musical taste again.
Like who? Not
Uh,
even the DJ, but who's like the party host?
like who has the aux cable, the aux
Who has the
cord?
aux cable? Like who's the planner? Who has the aux
Lalonga
cable?
Tasanga. That's who has the aux cable.
So if Longa has the aux cable, Raven Saunders is the planner. Like that's just how it is. And everybody's
Yeah.
just gonna get lit. Oh man, you get the Germans, you get the Americans. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Mm.
bonus questions. American and anyone that takes the world by storm that we haven't talked about.
Um,
This could be a homer pick if you want to.
I mean, we've talked about him, but Daniel Ha,
Yeah.
like he knows how to perform at global championships and he threw the weight extremely far, which is not always an indication of hammer, but
No.
he's like figured it out, right, on the global stage. And when he's in shape in an Olympic year, like he's proven that he's going to be really, really great. So it's hard to take the hammer world by storm because, as we know, the opportunities are less, but that's a fun pick for me. And then the other person that I would love to see take the world by storm um, is Roger Steen.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, that'd be
All right.
so fun.
So let's wrap this bad boy up with a bow.
Okay.
It don't have to be throws related. What questions do you have for me? Because I grilled you the last time. You got me this time.
I didn't know to prepare these questions. Okay. Favorite men's thrower of all time? Any event.
Ooh.
For any reason, not like the best one, who speaks to you the most?
That is tough. Oh, that's
You can
hard.
have three. Okay.
I'm gonna do
Three
one.
of them.
Ryan Krauser. Not because of how far he throws, but it is hard. So when we talk about the sprints, when we talk about the jumps, when we talk about the hurdles, look at Sydney McLaughlin Lavroni. She transformed the hurdles. Yeah, Fem Cabot transforming everything. You have, you
Hmm.
know, um, now it's Noah Lyles. Now we're looking at Leslie Tebogo, Usain Bolt. Like we talk about all these people transforming everything. He transformed the shot put to where people are like
Hmm.
watching. Like it doesn't get the respect that it deserves, but this massive figure who should be putting his hand in the dirt, rushing the passer or protecting the quarterback, because that dude is like I looked up. I was like, oh my gosh, like you're huge.
Hmm.
Um, I appreciate the way that he transformed the game. I also love Michael Carter. Uh,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
like so those two.
I love it. Did you see Michelle's April Fool's Day post? I
Oh,
was sad.
I need to go look at
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I haven't confirmed if it's April Fool's or not, but it was on April 1st, so we'll see.
So okay,
Um, I speaking of like the Bowerman needs to respect throwers, like I was so bummed that Ryan didn't win World Field Athlete of the Year last year.
yeah, that was
So
crazy to me.
bummed. I know. Because the blood clots at Worlds, like that performance to me was the his best ever. It
The
was amazing.
toughest SOP. Oh, shout out. Okay, honorable mention Tom Walsh. Tom
Hmm.
Walsh. I just love his style, and we were supposed to arm wrestle a couple years ago, and it didn't happen. So, uh,
Probably good for both people involved. Yeah.
it's probably good for me involved.
I don't know, but there was one New Year's Eve that Russ and his friends got into an arm wrestling tournament, and he thinks that it hurt his elbow, like long term. So there you go. Don't do it. Don't arm wrestle. If
Thanks,
you
Tom.
unless you're training, like you can do that, it's fine. But both of you be safe.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Appreciate you.
I love it.
We got two
Um,
more.
Two more questions. Okay. So, what
It
is your ideal appetizer? Like, how do you create the best appetizer in the world for yourself?
it has to be in grease.
Oh,
So fried mozzarella sticks, either fried. Okay, I gotta ask you this because it's gonna help me. Is a boneless wing a chicken nugget or a chicken wing? Yeah.
it's a wing, right? Because it's called a
No,
wing.
it's
Oh,
a chicken nugget. But that's just if you think it's a wing, it's okay. But I love fried mozzarella sticks. I love, or okay, so it's either one or two things. I like loaded nachos
hmm.
or mozzarella sticks with like potato skins and like the tenders or all that stuff. So something like bar food kind of deal, like sliders.
Okay. Yeah, sliders are good.
Um,
Have you gotten into smash burgers?
yes.
Yeah, we make them at home and they're so, so good. I'm not a big burger person. Like I got really sick after Red Robin one time
Okay, well,
and have not been able to eat a burger very happily ever since. Like I can do it, but I don't like it. Smash burger, totally different. Change the game. Give me the burger because it's smashed. I don't
I
want a big
love,
hunk of patty. I want it to be smashed.
I will say this, the original smash burger was steak and shake.
Hmm.
Um, listen, they've never steered me wrong. Culver's kind of has the smash patties. So I'm a huge fan of it. I need about three of them. Four on a good day. I've never tried four, but I want to.
Yeah.
But I would say this too, to your point. A bad hamburger. I'm not a huge Red Robin fan, but a huge Red Robin fan. It wasn't my favorite when I tried it.
Hmm.
I went to Burger King. Great breakfast, by the way. And they gave me a raw deformed patty and like my triple or double cheeseburger when I was in high school. And I have not eaten a burger from there since. Like I had to like
That's fair. You should not. Yeah.
it was like so flabby, and I'm like, oh, what is this? And they're like,
Oh,
and then they're gonna tell, oh, that don't look right. Are you kidding me?
oh my gosh.
So
That's not good customer service. Yeah.
yeah, I understand. So brother ain't got a whopper sense.
But what I'm hearing about our appetizers is that we are aligned on hot cheese. We need the cheese to be hot somehow, and it's delicious. Yes.
Yes, and some sort of breading. Because I'm a Ritz crackers. I'm with you. When you said crackers, my sisters. And I would say this. Oh, you would love. We do a lot. There's some Cajun stuff down here in Florida. There's a couple restaurants. If you ever down here again, let me know.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna bring it to Colorado. I'll bring it to Colorado
Okay. Perfect.
if I don't eat it
I
first.
do make a pretty good Cajun chicken mac and cheese on my own, but it's
Oh, I
not.
didn't know you were about that life.
Yeah. When I'm home by myself, I like to call it a pile of calories. I don't, It's just the one pot situation. So good. No matter what it is, could be anything.
Can't be in there.
Okay.
All right, last one.
Um, Biggest dark horse to make the American throws Olympic team in 2024.
In any event,
In any event.
dang. Wow. This one stumped me. Um, there's a part of me that wants to say Raven Saunders. I'm gonna go a homer pick. Let's just say Ariana Ants.
I don't consider her a dark horse. She's gonna
I,
figure
I
this
don't know. I
business
do
out.
too.
Yeah.
I do too. Ari, don't come for me. We still love
Mhm.
you. I
But I
don't
like it.
know. I
Mhm.
I don't. God, that's hard.
Do you want to know mine?
Yes.
Darrell Hill.
Oh, I
Mm.
love that. Is Reggie throwing?
I don't know. I
Because I know
haven't.
he went to the army, but if Reggie is throwing,
Yeah.
that could be a good one. Darrell Hill, my dog. I love that pick.
I adore that guy. He's so
He got
cool.
he got screwed the other year. Um,
Exactly. Mhm. But he was
I
on his way back after pec surgery last year and then the ankle thing. And I'm just like pumped that he has this like stability at Delaware. He's like doing something different, shaking it up, and
yeah.
we will see.
Okay. So
We will see.
I love that pick. I'm gonna give you the final word.
Okay.
Why are you excited for this year's throws?
You said it, mix of veterans and young talent. And there's just like a lot of places where people could surprise other people. And that's always like really, really fun. People come out of the woodworks, like people get really inspired. When I made the Beijing Olympic team in 2008, I was a junior in college and I had to PR by 5 meters after a year of injury to make the team, like to throw the standard. And I was like, I'm going to do that. Yeah. Like I am all in. I'm focused. Like I'm rehabbing like crazy because I'd had a stress fracture in my back. And no one could have seen that coming, but I did it. And so I think about that all the time because I'm like, there are so many people out there that could have this exact same thought. And when the stars align, it works. And then they like jumpstart the rest of their career. And we just like cannot predict what's going to happen. But coming off a year like 2023, when so many amazing performances happened, it's just hard to imagine how it can get better, but it will.
Love it.
Unpredictability.
Why are you so awesome? And where why are you so awesome? And where can the people find you?
I am still Kara Throws Jav on the Instagram,
Your
but
Instagram.
I'm about to try and do TikTok javelin reviews, video reviews for people because I get sent to video. So my TikTok name is just Kara Winger at Kara Winger. Um, and I like to give input right on people's careers, but like I don't love the back and forth with like my time is worth something. So if you agree to let me post your video on public social platforms, I will review it. So if you're listening and you want javelin input, if you tell me it's okay to post my feedback on TikTok, like I will do it. And I'm about to start that up and actually write myself a content calendar, right? Because I have sucked as a javelin content influencer so far.
Listen, you're not just gonna see Kara on TikTok. Oh, I can't wait for that. But you're going to see her covering some meets. You're going to see her doing content. You're going to see her elevating the sport. You're going to see her
Mhm.
doing big things. So if you're at a meet and you see somebody who just resembles a goat, it is Kara. And she is coming to elevate the sport. I'm so pumped that she was my guest today. Always a pleasure talking to her. This ain't gonna be the last time we collab and we talk about the throws. More big things are coming. Enjoy that roast, love, peace, and chicken grease, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.